So, what was the one thing that helped me spiritually grow? Hi, my name is Elizabeth Eleanor, and I am an intuitive empath that has said yes to a challenge to do 365 days on YouTube, just sharing some of the things that have happened to me in this magical journey that I call life. I woke up spiritually 27 years ago now, and I've had everything from 3 shooting stars when I asked for confirmation from the universe that I was working for the right team, all the way to meeting the love of my life on the beach. My maiden name was Payne, Payne, and his last name is Makepeace. And so when you're connected to the higher version of yourself and the oneness of the universe, then these are the magical experiences that start happening in your life. So this is day 25, by the way. What is the one thing, I had to think about this, what's the one thing that actually supported me in my spiritual growth? And I would say that the one thing is that we are all connected, that we are one energy that has expressed itself into different aspects so that it can experience itself instead of just knowing itself. And so, what does that mean? Because, when you know yourself, there's a difference between knowing myself as a woman and experiencing myself as a woman. So, I might know that it's really hard and challenging to, you know, travel up and track up Mount Everest, but to experience it would be a whole different ball game, right? And I've never done it, so I can imagine that it would be extremely challenging. I've seen people do it. I don't know if I could do it, right? So you can have a knowing about something and an experience is very different. So the oneness that whatever this consciousness is that is experiencing itself has separated to create duality so that we can experience us and them, so that we can say, well, my name is Elizabeth and your name is George, and so that makes me different to you because I am now identified as a woman with the name Elizabeth, and you are identified as whoever you are, and your name is George, right? So now we have this separation. However, when I was spiritually waking up, and I was thinking about this as I decided to come on, when I recognize that me and George are the same, right? That we are just a being experiencing ourselves through a consciousness that wants to experience itself as different aspects, then what I experience George as and what I experience myself as should be around about the same thing, right? I can express myself as Elizabeth and know that George is expressing himself or themselves as George, uh, and be completely okay with that. So, how does this work, and how does it tie into being spiritual and spiritual growth? Because if George and I are the same, then if I've got an issue with George in some way, George triggers me in some way, I feel frustrated, I get angry, I'm judging him or her or they. If I am judging in some way that other entity, then that means I am judging myself, because judgment from a vibrational point of view is a lower vibration and is taking me away from the light of my soul. And so as that takes me away and separates me from my soul's path, it's something that I'm choosing or experiencing that needs correction, because the soul is here to experience itself as the light, to experience itself as the creator, to experience itself as all that is. And so as soon as it separates and creates confusion, separation, identifies something as good, bad, or ugly, whatever it might be, as soon as it defines something as different to itself or less than itself, now we're back in a lower frequency and a lower dimension. And so our soul, sorry for the chair, right? Our soul is here to experience itself and to create unity so that it is coming back together to that unity consciousness. So the biggest change and shift for me, and I'll say this first, the biggest change and shift for me was when I recognized that I am the same as everything else. And that as soon as I make a judgment or a lower vibrational emotion comes up that triggers me, whatever it might be, that where do I need to bring the energy back? I need to bring it back to myself and ask myself, where is this coming from? Why am I having this feeling, this emotion, belief, or thought? And shift it so that I'm letting go of something that might be from a past life experience. It might be something that's generational, a belief that's generational. It might be a conditioning from my childhood. It might be something that I'd been told as a child and believed and identified with. Whatever it might be, might be multidimensional, whatever it might be, wherever it came from, I clear it. I find where it is and I clear it so that I'm now elevating my frequency into the space of unity consciousness, which is fifth dimensional. And now through unity consciousness, that's how I had the experience of things like 3 shooting stars, meeting the love of my life, Oleander Street to Oleander Drive. I mean, I could tell you so many different experiences, and if you've been watching my journey, I've been sharing some of them as I go along. I've got lots more to share, right? And these magical experiences happen because of that unity consciousness, because of elevating to that higher frequency, to the fifth dimension. And another thing that a lot of people think is that when you're fifth dimensional, it means that you're not going to be in the body. Well, that's actually not true. We layer and grow with each dimension as we go along. And so if there's one thing that is going to support you to really tune into growing spiritually, is as soon as you find yourself in judgment, as soon as you find yourself getting triggered by something external to yourself, as soon as you're in any of those levels of consciousness, you stop, you pause, you recognize it's an opportunity for you to grow spiritually, to find where this cause is, find this vibration and recognize it, shift it, flip it. There's different techniques out there that you can use. Mindset is one of them. One of the processes that I do is a process called recoding, and that finds it from the origin of where it came from, regardless of where it is, from past lives to generational history. We find the pinpoint of the focal point of that particular belief, and we neutralize it so that it now has the opportunity to go back into the light and to be in a higher vibration. So next time you're out and about, or next time you find yourself thinking of someone that's in your life that potentially has done you wrong, has triggered something in you, you feel like someone cut you off on your car when you were driving in the road, you had an argument or a fight with a loved one, a family member, a brother or something like that, whatever it might be, and you're triggered, look and see what's really going on for me here. Why am I triggered? What is this emotion? Where is it in my body? You can even look at what color is it that is, if there's a color representation, what memory pops, so that you can then shift it, and what feeling, thought would I prefer to have, and slowly move into that place where you can change your vibration and raise your vibration and become one with everything that's around you, which doesn't mean you've got to agree with everything that's around you, right? It just means that you're not triggered by the things that are around you anymore, that they're not triggering you. And so all of those processes, and that's one of the reasons why I do recoding, is because it clears them so quickly that it's like collapsing time, and you can move into unity consciousness very, very quickly. So look at what's going on for you. Be aware of the triggers that you've got and clear them out of your frequency so that you can start aligning with your higher self wisdom and move into the journey of what your soul is here for.